pimpin', baby, you bad. Yeah, heard you got a boyfriend. That's cool, girl, where is he at? Ooh, he fucked up, you locked up. You done ran to the motherfucking man. Look, I make you my babe for a day. You should be happy I'm giving you back, cause I can make you wifey for a week.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, well, of course, because this channel is kind of laggy, then just welcome. I think I'm just gonna do like a story time where I don't live with my parents anymore. So it's actually pretty messed up. Yeah, it's actually really messed up because like I basically just left. Okay, so let's just get into it right now. So it was literally over the summer. It was over the summer, and it was like basically, you know, our last day of school because it was senior year. And I was at graduation rehearsal, which I did not want to go to because I literally didn't want to go to graduation. I did not want to go to graduation because I did not want to walk. I just really wanted to do what I had to do and then just like get out of there. Like lots of people who have been to graduation, who have done graduation rehearsal and all this other crap, like most of them are like, they're like, man, it's such a waste of time, blah, 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 blah. Lots of them, lots of people, literally. Not just me, lots of people. But some people are like, oh, it's worth it, and it's your last moments and everything. Like, I had never even been to prom. Like, I blew off prom twice. I never been to prom. I only been to homecoming. So I don't really care about all that stuff, all this high school experience stuff. I probably experienced only like 2 things: football and homecoming. That was it. No prom, no graduation either. And we're gonna get to why. So, I mean, if I basically had to walk, then I still would have gone because, of course, my parents wanted me to, of course, they wanted me to walk. They wanted to capture the moments and everything of me graduating high school and everything like that. So, yes, I did not walk, but I still graduated. I would just, literally, they just give you your diploma. Like, if you don't walk, they'll give you your diploma. You have to come back to the school so they can give it to you. That's really it. But anyways, it all started a day before graduation, which was graduation rehearsal, like I had just said. And I was so tired, exhausted, irritated, pissed over a lot of things. I wasn't a happy person. I was not happy. I was not a good Talia, nothing. But right when I got to the school, because we went early, I got to the school, we had like breakfast and everything. And I just remembered one of the counselors from my school, she came up to me, she said, Talia, you're not gonna be walking at graduation tomorrow because you still have classes to do and all this. And basically there were still classes that I had finished because I had to do online courses. And I was just like, I already finished these. My teacher, he should have, you know, refreshed the whole thing showing that I had done these classes. But he did not, which really kind of pissed me off because I had to like redo classes. So that was like another thing. It was like happening again. This is like my second time having to redo classes again online. So I'm just like, whatever, because it's online, it's gonna be so quick, I know how to do it. So yeah, the counselor told me, and then my mom, she texted me talking about she got an email from the school saying like, you're not gonna be able to walk because you have to do this and you have to go to summer school and all this other stuff. So I was just like, whatever, okay. I told her, I was like, yeah, I already know. And I just remember literally blowing up at my mom over text, and I have no idea what I said. I don't remember what I said, but it's pretty disrespectful. I don't remember what I said, but it's not good. I didn't call her out her name. I didn't cuss at her, nothing. Never. But basically, I said what I had to say over text message. She didn't respond. It was like a big paragraph, whatever. And I got a ride home from one of my friends. And when I got home, my mom, she looked like she was just like standing by the door waiting for me. And she was standing by the door with her hands on her hips like this. And she was just like looking at me, like, you know that look? She was looking at me like one of these, and her lips were like kind of like balled up a little bit. And she, you know, she was talking about some, Talia, why would you text me this and all this stuff, like just saying what I was saying over text. She was like, you're gonna disobey me and be disrespectful. I don't even remember what I said, but at least I know that it was pretty disrespectful for her to blow up like that. Like, it was enough for her to blow up like that. I haven't seen my mom blow up in like so long like that. Like, I thought I was about to get slapped in the face. I really did. And at that moment, I also didn't care, which was a surprise, I guess. But yeah, I just didn't really say much to her, but she was just going off at me the whole time and telling me all this other personal stuff that was going on. Like, basically that day was just not great. That month was not a good month for me to leave. But she got all upset and she was like, since you want to leave the house so bad, you're talking about leaving and everything. She was like, if you pack your stuff, I will gladly drop you off to the curb or whatever of the street. Or she was like, I'll drop you off at that girl's house, because I planned on leaving and going to my best friend's house and staying with her for a few months. And until something else had happened, you know? And so after that, I was just like, in my head, I was just like, okay, bet. So like after she was done ranting, I just went upstairs. And yes, I did cry a little bit, but then I was just like, I just wiped my face, and then I started packing all my stuff up. I probably had about 6 garbage bags full of clothes and my shoes, and then I had like a little carrying like travel bag thing and 1 suitcase, and I packed all my stuff up. And then I called one of my friends. I was like, hey, can you pick me up? Is it okay if I stay at your house tonight? I'm leaving. I just told her that. She's like, what do you mean you're leaving? Like, I'm leaving the house. Like, I'm not gonna live here anymore. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I just know that I'm leaving here, and I know that I'm not gonna be ending up on the street. So she was just like, oh yeah, sure, I got you. They were still at the school. The school's like 6-9 minutes away from my house. So they got there. My mom was in her room, so she didn't know what I was doing. So I just remember that I looked out to see if she, you know, if she was looking or if she was still outside. And so I grabbed all my bags in my room, and I just remember like walking downstairs with like 2 bags in my hand, throwing them downstairs, just throwing them, and she didn't hear anything, okay? And my friend, she finally got to the door, or she finally got here, and I said, don't ring the doorbell, just call me when you're here and I'll open the door. Because I don't want to start nothing with my mom. I don't want her asking questions. I just want it to be over with. So I opened the door, and my friend came in. I was just like, be quiet, just grab the stuff, please. So I hand her like a couple of bags. She went out to the car, put it inside the trunk. And after we were on our like last bag, my mom, I guess she heard like the door and stuff, because my friend accidentally like slammed the door, and it was like, but it was fine because I was in my last bag. So my mom, she gets out of her room, she's like, Talia? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? I said, I'm leaving. And then like she didn't really say anything. Like, she had nothing to say. So like she was just staring at me like leaving, and then I think she just went back in her room. And I'm pretty sure she felt pretty bad, because of course like after hearing that, you know. So I just remember leaving. I closed the door and I stayed the night with one of my friends. Unfortunately, we don't talk no more, but it's fine, I guess. People come and go. But I felt like I was just going through a crisis at that moment. it was terrible. I felt terrible. I was like in a deep depression. I literally did not know what to do. I didn't feel like me leaving was anything wrong. I just felt like I literally did not know what to do with my own self, like with my emotions. Like I'm trying to be over here trying to like control them and everything. I couldn't. So the next day I just remember my cousin, she called me and she was like, hey, do you want to come over to my sister's house? We're having like a graduation party for one of my other cousins, her older sister. And I was like, sure. So I remembered I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I told my friend, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be going to my cousins today. Is there any like way you guys can drop me off there? And also I'm gonna bring my bags too, and I'm gonna drop them off there too. Cause I didn't want to stay with her and her family for like that long. I barely even knew her I'd never seen her parents in my life. Her grandparents were there too, so I feel like their grandparents were staying with them. I just didn't want, I barely know her family. And I also haven't seen this girl in a year. She was not at school. She just disappeared and then she finally came back. But yeah, I got to my cousin's house and it was like a whole party. All my other cousins, they came. And long story short, on this part, she was just like, I asked my cousin, I was like, hey, is it okay if I stay here for a little bit? And then she was like, oh yeah, you should have asked me, you should have been asked me this. And then she was like, yeah, I would have let you stay. And I was like, okay, can I stay? And then she, just right then, she was just like, oh yeah, you can stay here. So after she said that, she was like, you can take this room right here because the kids don't use this or whatever. I was like, okay, bet. So literally when she said that, I cleaned up the whole entire room and I vacuumed the floor and everything. I like put a new sheet on like the bed and everything like that. Like it was spick and span. There was no toys, no nothing. Like nothing was in there. It was clean. And then she came back upstairs. She was like, I heard all this noise upstairs. I didn't know that this is what you were doing. I was like, yeah, I'm getting everything set because my clothes is coming like tomorrow. So that's what happened. The next day, she took me to my friend's house to bring all my bags. And I stayed there for probably like a month. Probably a month or less. Almost a month. It feels like I've been there for probably a long time, but it wasn't. But yeah, I was there and like, my boyfriend would visit me and everything. Like we would go out like probably every other day or something, like just a little bit, a few times a week. And shorten up the story, me and my boyfriend has been looking for a place together for a while, like for probably just a few months over the summer, because he's trying to leave because he's old enough to leave. Like he's a young adult, so he has got to get out of his parents' house, and I guess he just hasn't had the time to do that. So me and him were looking, I was helping him and everything, and we had finally found a place, which this is it, of course, even though we're about to start looking for a new place now. I think we moved in here like September, but I remember we found this place and everything was fine. Like there was like nobody was being sketchy with us and everything, like the last like houses or like apartments we looked at, because they were acting kind of shady. Like either like there was something wrong or they didn't want to give us anything. They were acting pretty weird. But we found this place. The people seem really chill. They seem really cool. Like they were just trying to give this place away so they can leave, because they're trying to find their place and move out and live their lives. They have like some sort of wonderful life on the other side or something. So we've been living here since September, like I said, so like a few months, and it's almost time for us to have to move out. But yeah, after that, I told my parents, I was like, hey, me and Joelle, we found a place and we're moving this day or this month. And then they were just like, okay, because they're saying like, where are you gonna stay? Where are you gonna be? All this other stuff. So I have like this feeling in my gut for like a year or two now, like I'm gonna leave, but I don't know where I'm gonna go and I don't know how it's gonna go about. But I just knew that I was going to leave, and I did. I didn't know how it was gonna happen, but I felt this, and I heard like a voice in my head like, you're gonna leave. You're going to leave. You're going to get out. So that's exactly what I did. I just can't believe that happened though. It was kind of like sad because I've been saying I wanted to leave my parents' house for 2 years now. Yeah. Because I'm like, I want to move at a younger age. I'm like, I want to move at 18 and all this. Knowing I don't really got no job. Like my parents wouldn't even let me have a job at 16. Like, and that's literally the age where like, you know, of course you're gonna start to want a job since you can have a job at 16. That's the thing. But I got my first job at 17. I'm 18 right now. Like I said. But yeah, that's my story and how I left. But it was at a very tragic time. And also at a very young age, with my boyfriend. And we are probably like 30 minutes away from where my parents live. So it's not that bad, but it is still pretty much of a drive to get here and back. So yeah, if you like this video, you already know what to do. Put a thumbs up. We never put thumbs down. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and like and subscribe, like I said. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Spending all my nights alone, waiting for you.